Hello, fellow movie tubers. Welcome to Alex Cali Movies once again. Today's a special episode because it's gonna mark the start of a new tradition, and that is Caliween. What is Caliween? Very straightforward, just my watch list for the month of October slash spooky season. So I expect it to be a lot of horror titles, but this year I'm gonna go easy on myself. I'm just gonna focus mostly on horror comedies. I'm not gonna say there's not going to be any horror titles, but my focus is on horror comedies. So without further ado, let's get started. The first few titles that I'll be talking about are movies that I've already watched, and that is Frankenstein, the Complete Legacy. Is it that? Yeah, Complete Legacy Collection, which actually comes with 8 titles. Here we go. I hope you guys can read it. But out of the 8 titles, in my opinion, only the first 3 ones and the last ones are worth it. So there is Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, and then the last one, which was Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Anything else in between those titles was a little bit of a background noise for me, which is a little bit disappointing because I think I should have focused more on those movies, and instead they became just background noise. So in the future I might give them a chance again, but not in the near future. So because I didn't enjoy those ones as much and the sequels became a lot of background noise, I decided to put my phone away for the movies that I'll be watching next in my watch list and fully immerse myself in those movies. And the first one that I watched is The Lost Boys, which to me was a first watch. Funny thing is, for the longest time I thought this was a coming of age drama. I didn't expect any vampires or anything like that in it until maybe a few months ago or something like that. I can't remember how, but I think it's only this year that I discovered that this is actually a vampire movie. So I was at Walmart and I ran into it and I decided to grab it, and yeah, very good movie, very 80s themed, which I'm all about, and great casting, and I like the collaboration between Joel Schumacher and the guy that here plays David. He was also in Flatliners, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody please fact check me on this before I spread lies. Other than that, there was the mom, which was from, I remember her from a TV show called Life in Pieces, I think, or something like that. And she was also, no, and then there was also the guys from the Goonies. Anyways, a very interesting cast. Very full of surprises. I think there was also a guy that was playing in Richie Rich. So, I don't know. Overall, this was a good first watch for me. And it's definitely one of my favorites, right away from the get-go. So, very happy that I picked this one up. Now we're going to the stack of titles that I recently got. Some of them are gonna be first watches. Some of them are classics that I grew up with. So let's get started. So first off, we have Casper on 4K. I've always watched this movie on VHS and maybe once or twice in streaming. So it's been actually a few years since I watched this one. I personally like it because it's something that I grew up with, and I remember my dad made a mixtape with the Casper theme song and Ghostbusters, Spider-Man, and Batman when I was young, just for fun. So I remember listening to the little tape for a good summer. So this movie only brings good memory to me. So very very looking forward. I'm really looking forward to watch this one soon. I also have on VHS Casper Spirited Beginning, I think it's called. I never played it, but who knows? Maybe I will. But it's not in this stock. Little spoiler alert. The next title is Creepshow. I have never watched Creepshow in my whole life. I might have watched bits and pieces of it. I know it's an anthology series. And I'm really looking forward to it. The more I look at the cover art and whatnot, the more surprised I am. I recently found out that George A. Romero and Stephen King are behind this movie, and I wasn't expecting Liam Neeson. Can you guys see it? Yeah, Liam Neeson to be in it. Because I always know him from slapstick comedies and parodies, but I knew that he had like a phase where he was doing like serious and drama roles. But I didn't expect it in this. Although I don't think this is a very like scary horror movie. I think this is probably going to be a little bit of a horror comedy. So maybe that's why he's in it. Like that would make more sense. But we'll see. I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah, really looking forward to this title. I know there's also like a sequel. I might have the sequel on VHS as well, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. For now, I'll just stick with this one. Too many movies to go through. And next up is Friday the 13th, the 8 movie series. So this is a pretty standard and bare bone release. Nothing really exciting about this one except for the price. The price was too good that I couldn't pass on it. That's mostly why I got it. I am not planning on watching the entire series. Sorry, Jason. I'm just gonna be focusing on the stupid one, which is Jason Takes Manhattan, and maybe, just maybe, I'll watch the third one, part three, just because it's the one that I grew up the most. I used to watch the VHS tape with my dad quite a bit, and I still have it back there behind me somewhere. So maybe just those two titles, but I definitely won't be able to go through the entire thing. Not me, not this year. I think I did it 2 years ago, and yeah, I mean, I get tired of watching the same movies every year, so I gotta change it up, spice it up. The next title that I grabbed recently, I was actually not expecting it to see it at a Walmart. It's a Arrow release. I've noticed my Walmart and many Walmarts apparently across Canada, they're carrying Arrow releases. So if you guys are near a Walmart, go check them out. But this is what I got: An American Werewolf in London. Um, it's been a minute since I watched this movie. I think the last time I watched this movie was probably in Italy, so maybe like 10, 15 years ago. And even then, I've only watched it once, so I don't remember much. I remember the transformation, which was probably pretty epic at the time, and I have a feeling it will still hold up pretty well. I remember the beginning where they were hitchhiking, and I think there's a skeleton in there at some point, but I don't know. I guess I'll find out very soon. Um, but yeah, very excited about this one. Go check out Walmart. They also have Donnie Darko and a bunch of other titles. I'm blanking out right now, but I'll write it somewhere in the video or maybe in the description. We'll see. But definitely a surprise, at least for me. And speaking of An American Werewolf in London, we also have the sequel in Paris, which I have no idea what. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is just a standalone sequel that probably came out a bunch of years afterwards, because this looks very 90s to me. So very excited to watch this one too. This is going to be a first watch for me. Period. The other ones more or less I knew from before, but yeah, this one I have no idea what to expect. It has 4 stars in the front. We'll see if it holds up. But I think it'll be a fun watch nonetheless. Now I have another pile in front of me. Those are titles that are still seal wrapped, but believe it or not, I've had at home for like maybe almost a year. The first one being The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox. This is going to be a first watch for me, I believe, or maybe not. I don't know. We used to own the VHS copy of this movie, and I remember the VHS vividly because in the front there was like a lenticular cover of a ghost, and I remember as a kid I would go there and I would like kind of scratch it and play with it. Um, I remember my dad was playing this movie a few times back then, and I might have watched it once because I think I do remember the beginning sequence with like a haunted house and like stuff moving around and things like that. And I remember this is a Robert Zemeckis movie, so I know that the special effects were great and are probably still gonna hold up. So yeah, I don't know. This is it for now. Very curious to see what this one is about. So let's see. This is happening. Oh, this is the first time I'm learning this. This one is a director's cut. So okay, this is good. This is good. I like that. I like when the movies are longer. I don't like when they cut stuff out. The next one up is a new classic, according to many people. I don't know yet because I haven't seen it yet, but it's Talk to Me. I've only heard good things about this movie and the people behind it. I think it's two brothers. Yeah, two brothers. So, really looking forward to this title. It's been literally years since I've heard about this movie. So, I'll pull the trigger sometime. Sometime between now and Halloween, I guess. The next one up is Beetlejuice. Just to go in theme with my t-shirt that I'm wearing right now. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm not standing up. It's just whatever. Why did I buy this title? Because it was cheap and I liked the movie. And that's when I got into 4Ks. So very curious to see this one. I enjoyed this one. I watched it on streaming a few years ago, so it's definitely time for a rewatch. And I watched the sequel when it came out. I think it was this year or maybe last year. So happy to revisit the franchise and especially this title. I know this is all practical effects, so it's gonna probably look very gorgeous on 4K. Yeah, so let's see. Next up, we have a Tom Cruise classic. Interview with Vampire. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, and Kirsten Dunst, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I actually watched this one maybe like a year or 2 years ago for the very first time on a VHS tape that I have there behind me. So I still remember the movie quite well. So definitely not a first watch for me, but I'm still curious to check it out on Blu-ray of all things. I have no idea if there's a 4K, but this was cheap, only like $5-6, so you can't really go wrong with that. Next one up is would you call this a classic? I would call it a classic. Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. This is a very cheap edition of the Blu-ray. No, sorry, of the DVD. I think I prefer the second one better, but I haven't watched both of them in many, many years, so I can't say. I remember the first one being a lot spookier for me when I was a kid, and the second one was still scary and spooky, but I think it was a little bit more fun because of the setting scenario with the high school kids and stuff like that. I know there's also like one or two more sequels. I know there's a third one, and I think the fourth one is a remake or a reboot, but I haven't really watched them, so I don't know what to expect from them. I don't think I'll be checking them out anytime soon. I think I'm happy with the first one and the second one. I don't know if I'll be happy with the DVD transfer, though, I'll be honest. I've been buying a bunch of these repackaged movies from Amazon for cheap, and I gotta say, the quality is not the best, so I'm kind of like skeptic about this one, I guess. I know the movies will be good, but we'll see about the transfer. But if I end up liking the movie after all these years, then I might just get rid of all my tapes and DVD copies and just get something more modern. But we'll see. That's for a different video. Next up, we have a classic here. Well, this is more of a classic, I think. And there is Bride of Chucky. This is probably one of the best horror comedies out there. This is probably the standard for horror comedies out there. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, so I'm very looking forward to watch this one once again. And speaking of Chucky, I do have a different title here with me, Cult of Chucky. This is actually what got me back into the franchise. It's one of the first DVDs that I bought when I moved here to Canada. And I enjoy this one. There's actually a famous dinner scene that I quite enjoy. And the ending for this one was also pretty good. Very shocking for me and I guess for many other fans. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see this one. I think this is the one with the dinner scene. I don't know if I'm confusing it with the one that came after that. Well, I guess we'll find out soon. But I know there's a box set for the Chucky movies. I haven't bought it yet, but having this movies just around my desk and knowing that I'll be watching them soon is making me want to buy those those titles even more. So let's put this away and let's move up here. This is a small stack, I promise you guys. These are two titles that I got from the Facebook Marketplace long time ago, and I've never watched, so I'll be watching them now. So first time watch for me, and that is Arachnophobia. Here we go. And Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive, which the only reason I got this movie is because it's got the Green Goblin in the back here in the truck. So I never watched this movies. Arachnophobia, I always thought it was more of a horror movie, but it turns out it's more of a horror comedy, which is perfect. It's great. And it reminds me of a different movie. I think it's called Eight Freaks Legged or Eight Legged Freaks or something like that, which I think it has a young Scarlett Johansson and the guy from Scream. What's his name? The guy who plays Dewey, David Arquette. So I'm expecting those two movies to be somewhat similar. So I can't wait to watch this one and kind of like make a comparison with the other one. I think I do have a thing for like spider horror comedies, and I think there's probably a lot of them from the 50s that I don't even know about. So if you guys know any of those titles, maybe let me know in the comments because I'll be more than willing to check them out. And then yeah, the other one that I mentioned was Maximum Overdrive, which I have no idea what it's about. I don't even know if it's like just a movie with one storyline or just an anthology series, but I guess I'll find out soon. Okay, now we get to the fun stuff in my opinion. Fun stuff because I haven't played this in a long time. Actually, I've never played any of these titles, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, so the first one up is Urban Legend. So I haven't seen Urban Legend in a long time since I had it on DVD in Italy. So it's been more than 10-15 years. All of these movies, honestly, I haven't watched in probably 10-15 years. So very curious to see how they hold up. I know most of them will probably hold up, like this one. I don't remember much about this movie. I do remember a little bit of the cast, especially the guy from Dawson Creek and some of the stuff that he does in the movie. But yeah, we have to talk about this movie. I was very close to get the Blu-ray for it. Like I was this close. It was in my Amazon cart. But I have a feeling this is gonna come out on 4K soon. So I'm gonna probably wait for the 4K. But we'll see. We'll see. The next one is something that I've never watched before, and it's 13 Ghosts. This is the remake, I've been told. I never knew there was an original until sometime this week, like earlier this week. I'm kind of curious about the original now, because the original, when it first came out, it had like a special technology where you would have to wear special glasses in order to see the ghost or like some of the footage or something like that. So I'm a big fan of interactive movies, and I hope that Hollywood makes more interactive movies because they'll see me in theaters all the time. This one I'm also very curious about because just with all of the movies here, there's a really great cast. There's the girl from Scary Movie, which I really don't remember her name, sorry. I think, is it Elizabeth? Let's see if I can find it here somewhere. Yeah, Shannon Elizabeth. I think that's her. Other than that, we also have Matthew Lillard. Lillard? I don't know why I was calling him a lizard. Matthew Lillard from Scream. and Scooby-Doo, and a bunch of other stuff that I don't remember now, but Scream and Scooby-Doo are definitely top notch. And then there is the guy from Monk, I think his name is Tony Shalhoub, that's how you pronounce it. So pretty good casting overall. We'll see if this holds up to my expectations. I think it will do, to be honest. I don't have that many high standards. And next up is a classic on VHS, The Blair Witch Project. I have never seen this movie, and I'm glad that I got the VHS copy of it a while ago, because I know this is the format to watch this movie on. So I think I'll have a blast watching this one. I actually have a different tape behind me. It's like a documentary about the making of this movie. It's like half an hour long. I never watched that either or. So if I dig this one enough, then I'll probably pop in the other one as well. I know there's also a sequel, but let's not talk about the sequel. I mean, I haven't watched it, so I shouldn't be reacting this way, but I've been told things. That's all I gotta say. And now, last but not least, we have The Phantom of the Paradise, which is a really messed up movie from what I've been told. Maybe not messed up, but it's a one of a kind. I was actually surprised it was directed by Brian De Palma, the guy from Scarface. So, I mean, I like the Scarface. I can't think of any other movies that he's done and that I've watched. I'm sure there's a few, but I'm blanking out right now. But I'm very curious to see this one because they were playing this one in a local theater, the Review Cinema, but I didn't get a chance to see it, and I'm glad that I have a copy at home so I can watch it anytime that I want, and I guess that'll be sooner rather than later. So that's it for my physical media watch list, but there isn't only just home video and physical media, there's more to it. There is theaters, and there is also streaming platforms. Maybe some of you don't want to talk about streaming platforms, but I don't mind them. When it comes to theaters, there is two movies that I'll be catching this season, the spooky season. Well, one of them I already have, and that is Scream 3. This was part of the Drunken Cinema series at the Review Cinema, and I'll probably be make a separate video about that sometime in the future. But for now, yeah, this is just the first movie that I watched for the spooky season, and not gonna lie, it's probably my favorite installment in the series after the original one, just because I thought it was a beautiful way to end the original trilogy. I like them all, but the third one has a special place in my heart. One, it's one of the first DVDs that we ever got. I know I always say that, but it's true. And two, like I said earlier, I just like the story. So it is what it is. The other movie that I'll be catching in theaters is Ernest Scared Stupid or something like that. I don't know. I never watched the movie. I'm watching it because they're offering it in 35mm, and I'm a sucker for those. So I'm looking forward to watch that one. I've also watched Ernest Saves Christmas, and I kind of like the character. I never really watched any of his movies other than the Christmas one, so I'll be watching the Halloween now soon. And who knows, maybe I'll get into the character fully and I'll watch the series, but for now, this is what it is. And then, last but not least, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I'll try to watch Rosemary's Baby on Paramount Plus. They do have a 4K version of it, and I should really be using my membership because I've had it for almost a year and I barely used it. I was very close to buy the 4K of it at Walmart, but I knew that it was available on streaming, and I don't want to risk it too much with the blind buys. I mean, I usually get very lucky with the blind buys, but there's a limit to everything. Well, guys, that's it for my Caliween watch list. Let me guys know what you're planning on watching this spooky season. What are your cult classic, your hidden gems, and all that sort of stuff. Please leave a comment down below with all the movies that you're planning to watch, the movies that maybe I should be watching. I always welcome suggestions from you guys. And if you like this video, please like the video, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until then, see you next time. Bye, everyone.